You're making one right decision today. You're listening to Handcuffs and Sage.
Three badass moms bringing you all the true crime and paranormal your heart desires.
I'm Red.
I'm Timo.
I'm Dre. And don't let your kids listen. Seriously, just don't.
Hey, welcome back to Handcuffs and Sage.
This is Red.
And this is Timo.
And this is Dre.
Hey.
We are recording remotely again because we're still in quarantine.
But we're doing it on Zoom so we can see how sexy everybody's looking.
Yes. I'm so happy because we get to see each other's faces. It's so fun.
Speaking of sexy,
I know, I love it.
I want to talk about something that I started doing this week.
Okay. Is this your poopy diet?
No, that's not sexy.
Sexy.
I'm doing a diet and I'm like, I can't stop going to the bathroom, but I've lost like 8 pounds in less than a week.
Damn.
So that's good. So let's get back to sexy and talk about these pills I've been taking.
Yeah.
Okay. I got these pills at Target and they're called In the Mood.
Really?
And they help women to get in the mood.
Hey, those are some sexy pills.
Yeah. See, I'm going to hold them up. They're called Rae, R-A-E. They're called In the Mood. Ooh. And I really don't have a problem with that because my man knows how to do it. But I thought it would be kind of fun to take, right? To maybe get on his level. We're in quarantine, right?
Right.
Like, maybe boost it up. Oh, it's not so. It's a problem. The kids are gonna like want to move out soon. I swear.
Seriously?
So, yeah.
What? From Target?
You can't even formulate the words. What's happening?
It's like nonstop. Like when you first get together with your man. I'm pregnant. I'm kidding. Like the worst thing that would ever happen.
No, I don't want that.
Everyone should check these out. Like I know ladies have issues sometimes, or we just have our mind like on getting things done. That's how I am. A to-do list all the time. But these are really like, oh hey, oh okay, maybe, sure, why not?
So,
yeah.
When do you take it? Do you take it like first thing in the morning, at night?
No, it doesn't matter. Just 2 a day. I really don't feel like it matters. And it's legit, dude. I'm really enjoying myself. So
wow.
Everyone check out In the Mood. You can get it at Target.
All right. I'm gonna put it on my pickup order.
Okay. Oh my
Can
God.
I get a man at Target too, along with my In the Mood pills?
Yeah, I think
do a drive-up order
now. They have to wear a mask though, and then it's all good. It's fine.
Oh, geez.
Okay, so how was your week?
Let's see. My week, I just worked. It went by really fast. I was really excited. Work was just work. That's it. I was in quarantine.
Aww.
Yeah, there was nothing exciting. I just did the same old thing every day. Didn't leave the house. Didn't do anything. So
it's the same day over and over and over again.
Yeah,
right?
But it's getting hot now, so I don't know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have an inflatable pool in our garage. Maybe we'll set that up and I can float around and have deep thoughts. I don't know. But it is getting hot already. And which is a bummer because I like to hike and it's already super hot. So I feel like I've missed out on that spring season.
Yeah, my son, came down earlier today and he's like, why is it so fucking hot? It's April. And I'm like,
oh my God. Did you give him an answer?
That fucking cast ass. So I did order La Cocina last night, which was nice. I decided I didn't want to cook. So like $90 later for 4 people.
Wow.
No.
But I did order 2 32-ounce Cadillac margaritas.
Oh, okay, so that's why.
It was like $28. So like if I didn't order that, it would be like 60 something, which was reasonable. But I'm like, I'm not ordering Laco without ordering friggin' Cadillac margaritas.
No, that's why you order from there. Yeah,
right.
They're delicious.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm drinking. I only got through one last night. I was overzealous and thought that I was going to finish 2 32-ounces last night. No, didn't happen. So I'm finishing off my 32-ouncer tonight. So it's almost all gone. So if Timo starts to kind of like bleh, halfway through the episode, you know what's going on.
I'll take over. Don't worry. I feel like Timo's no longer with us. It's Dre and I now.
Yeah, right.
As long as it's not like episode 5, I think it was, when we had our guest, Matt.
Yes.
Matt? Yeah.
Yes.
Timo was sloshed, and I don't think we should do that again.
No, that was a real shit show, but I still enjoyed doing that episode.
It was fun. Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Dre, how was your week?
Well, I work, I'm still at work. But I guess we're getting more and more patients actually coming in. As you guys know, I do STD treatments, which are fun. And so I get to spend the whole day basically scolding these kids and saying like, what the fuck? Stop going out and doing your duties. Stop doing with random people. Okay? Stop going out and not obeying the stay-at-home orders so that I don't have to see your ass in here and inject you with something in your booty. That's it. I'm just saying. Maybe I don't want to be that close to you right now.
Oh my gosh. Well, hopefully I'll never come into your office to see you.
No.
No, that would make it so awkward.
Yeah. So, but I mean, at least I'm having some like people interaction, and that I do appreciate, because these are people that I get along with on a normal basis. Like my patients, I love them. So they come in and I'm like, oh, I'm so glad to see you. It's like a real person in front of me, not just over the phone, because that's all I've been doing.
So Dre, you haven't been seeing them for a while, right? You had to not make appointments.
Since like early March, we just set out all the appointments. So it's been a while since I felt like a nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you're getting to see them. That's nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I work in an industry right now where people aren't too happy with us, and I have to call people all day, and that can really get me down. But I have tomorrow off. It's Anzac Day. My guests are Australian and New Zealanders, and so I'm really looking forward to having a Sunday off with my family, which just never happens, right?
Yeah, that's so nice.
Maybe you can go to a pool party.
Oh shit! So everyone is choosing how they're gonna live through this quarantine, and everyone's making different decisions. I have decided to follow the rules because I'm an example to children. Some people say that they're following the rules and are not, and are having pool parties. So I don't know. Everyone's gonna do their own thing, right? Everyone thinks about it differently. Because I don't know, I'm just gonna follow the rules.
Okay, let me tell you what happened like literally like an hour ago. Okay. So everybody knows that Miss Amy lives next door to me. So she sends me a text and says her husband just saw a big 12-inch long alligator lizard crawl into their garage.
They're all over the place.
I was afraid of the next words that you were gonna say, Timo. Like a 12-inch.
So I posted a picture of one a while ago that was friggin' humongous, right? I'm like, oh yeah, that one was in my garden. I know where that one is.
Huge.
And then I'm like, okay, cool. She's like, yeah, our neighbor's gonna come and get it out, whatever. Then she sends me a text and says, no, it went into your garage, not our garage. And I'm like, great.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, I always leave my windows down on my car, and I'm trying to figure out if a lizard could climb in, like crawl up my car and climb into my car.
I mean, they crawl up walls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I went into my garage and he's just kind of chilling on this one little section, right? So our neighbor was right there and I opened up my garage. I'm like, he's right there. He's right there. But he was little. I mean, he was like maybe like 8 inches. He wasn't that big. He wasn't the one I saw a while ago. So she got him and she released him and whatever. So then we closed my garage. Yay, everything's fine. I go into the house and then I look on my phone and I have a missed call from Miss Amy. And I'm like, that's weird. She never calls me. And then she sends me a text. She goes, call me as soon as possible. I don't want to text this to you. And I'm like, what is fucking going on?
Did your sex tape get out? She's all, this is a calling situation, not a text situation.
This might bring us up to higher levels. So
I have been begging you to do one for a while. So rude.
So she said, I think one of your garage springs broke because we heard a huge, loud sound come from your garage like a bomb going off. I'm like, mother.
Oh, wow.
But you didn't hear it?
No, because my garage is like detached from my house.
Right.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but they heard it because they're in the garage right next door.
Okay.
Sure enough, my spring in my garage broke.
Oh.
Not good. So yeah.
Yeah, no way.
So good thing is I don't have to fucking go nowhere. So I don't have to go out of my garage. But now when I go grocery shopping, someone's going to have to hold the garage door up as I pull out and then close it because it's going to smash down on my car.
How do you fix that?
Well, I have springs. We bought springs that we were
Okay.
going to replace. So I'm just going to have someone come out and replace the springs, but whatever. But another funny thing is I'm the oldest one in the group here. It goes me, then it goes Dre, and then it goes Red. So the other day I was getting into the shower and, you know, we had a bunch of rain and rain brings those stupid motherfucking crane flies. You know what those are, right? The mosquitoes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I woke up and there was one floating in my my bathroom, and I'm like, God damn it! So I'm swatting at it, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'm about to climb into my shower, and it flew right by my ear. I twisted funny and pulled my hamstring.
Oh my God.
Right under my butt cheek. So like I'm in like a lot of pain right now. So I actually had some exciting things to talk about this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good times.
I did have an exciting week.
So I've been working on muscle relaxers throughout the day. So that's been fun. Yeah.
Muscle relaxers and Cadillac margaritas.
Muscle relaxers always make me think of 16 Candles when the sister takes one at her wedding and she's all blue, blue, blue.
She took a muscle relaxer. Try 4. You didn't.
You didn't. I loved that, and she's just out of it her entire
she's like,
amazing wedding day.
See with this thing on.
Yeah,
she throws her veil and it lands on the lady. It's great.
It's great. I love it.
I'm so glad we were like teenage angst when that movie came out because it was so great.
Oh, I love it. Everything about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited to continue our Tiger King saga that we're covering. So we're doing episode 3 today, and there's a lot of like not like crazy fun things. We're talking about a more serious topic, and really it's like a true crime episode.
Yeah,
this part is.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So I was going through it, and it's really sad because this is a 20-year-old case, really.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Okay, so we all watched it.
Yeah. It's called The Secret, and that's what it's about. We finally get to know what the hell episode 2. At the very end, they drop the bombshell about Carol Baskin and her husband. So we finally get to hear what that's all about.
Oh, it's just a sad story, really. But kind of going through it, it's crazy. It's been 20 years and nothing's been resolved. And so because we're watching this documentary, you're like, where is it now? What's going on with it now? And we'll talk, I guess, a little bit about that maybe.
I think it really sucks for Carol Baskin because I think this is going to open up doors to be like, girlfriend, you might not get away with this now, because now it's like brought out into the open. Like for her to agree to do this like thing, maybe opened up a can of worms.
It feels like a can of worms has been opened. Yes.
Or a can of sardines, should we say? But that's later on. That's later on in another episode. Yeah. So we're jumping the gun here.
Yeah, I like I had said earlier, like I think at this point everyone listening has probably had no choice but to binge through. Like you can't watch episode 1 and 2 without going, holy shit, I need to continue and watch episode 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, and just like, you know, immerse yourself. And because so everybody knows what we're talking about when we talk about like up to date stuff, which is really cool.
So when we start out, we're talking about back 20 years ago, and Carol's last name wasn't Baskins, it was Lewis, and she was married to a guy named Don Lewis. And Joe, you know, is sitting on his couch talking about, you know, this whole situation. And I just love how he's talking about something so serious, and he's sitting on like a zebra couch in flannel with his earrings
and his badass eyeliner.
Yeah,
the eyeliner. I was like, oh, look at the eyeliner.
Yeah. So there's another zookeeper that's also, you know, they cut to sometimes, and he's talking about how a month before Don went missing, he said to him, I feel like my life is in danger. Okay. But there's just circumstantial evidence here, and nothing has been done with this case, which is really frustrating because we're all watching this, and to us it seems obvious what happened. Right. But nothing's been done with this situation. So we hear Carol Baskins, and she's got this very serious tone, and she's talking very deeply, and she's saying everything is unfolding the way it is for us to become our highest possible selves, right? And you're like, what are you even talking about? Very deep, Carol. So we see these old movies of Don, and he's like playing with these tigers, and he's like wearing a shirt and jeans, just like a real casual guy, and he's being kind of sweet with these tigers. And then we meet Gladys Lewis, right? Don's first wife.
Right.
And she said the last day that she talked to Don, he said he was going to divorce Carol, that she was one of the worst people he had ever met in his life, and he was afraid of her.
Right.
Bum, bum, bum.
Right. I've never met Carol in person, but I'm going to say I also don't like her.
no one likes fucking Carol Baskin.
No, I kind of like her, not to be like besties with, but to be like, okay, yeah, tell me more.
I know.
Right. She's the friend you keep on Facebook so you can go, oh shit, guess what we saw today? Guess what she posted today? Yeah. We all have that friend. She's that friend. Yeah. Okay, so we have Wendell Williams. He's the business associate. And he said that Don had indicated to him that he was wanting a divorce from her, right? He was like, I want a divorce. This is going to happen. And that was the last time he saw Don. He never saw him after that. And a lot of people say the same thing. Like, we all know what Don was thinking. He wants a divorce. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So then we have John Mariscano. He's the lead homicide detective on the case.
Right.
Did you guys pick up on the scene where we're meeting him, he's sitting in a chair, but did you guys notice like the things around him in this room?
No.
Like,
no.
To me, a homicide detective is like a no nonsense person, right?
Okay. Yeah.
But he's sitting in a very odd room with like weird like masks, like dramatic masks on the walls and stuff like that. You're like, this is an odd room. I don't know.
I mean,
whose room is this? Is this at his house?
I had the same exact masks hanging on my wall when I was 15.
See?
Yeah.
And he's like an older lead homicide detective. It just seemed very odd to me, but everything about this is odd. Everything. So he said it started off as a missing adult, right? And that it went on a week or two like that until they decided maybe there's some foul play here. So it took some time, I guess.
Which maybe.
I mean, Dre understands with true crime, we hear this over and over and over again, how long it takes for things to like be, oh, well, maybe she didn't go on her own. And it always just drives you nuts, right?
Yeah. Especially with true crime, it's like time is of the essence. Everyone knows missing person.
Yes!
Know, like 72 hours. Let's go. Let's move. Let's do this. Right? I mean, I think if she cared enough, she would have pushed them more to like investigate it, and that did not happen.
It didn't happen. And we talk about how that even came to be in the first place. Like, it just kind of blows your mind. So Carol's talking about Don meeting him in 1981. She was 21 and he was 42. There was a huge age difference.
Gross.
I'm not into it. Okay. I don't date daddies. Some people do. Okay. So the story that she's telling is just so like chaotic and dysfunctional. It's crazy. So I guess Don was driving in his truck one night, and he sees this hot chick like crying on the sidewalk, and it's Carol. Okay. And Carol said that she had been in a fight with her husband, her first husband, Michael, and that she had to throw a potato across the kitchen at him to get him out, or to get out of the situation. She had to throw the potato, you guys. The potato had to be thrown. I can picture her throwing a potato.
Oh my God. A potato.
Have you guys ever thrown a potato at your special somebody?
Yeah, right.
I have a fun story. My mom threw an ashtray at my dad once. And you know, they have those big, heavy, thick ass like ashtrays back in the 70s. Yeah, he's lucky. He's lucky.
This is just a potato. Not a big deal. So Don sees Carol crying on the side of the road. He asks her to like get in, like, you're in distress, let me help you. She says no, right? He's a stranger. So he keeps like riding around, and the third time around, he's got a gun on his seat, and he says, you can hold the gun at me, just get in and like spend time with me. Yeah. So already, obviously this is going to be a love match made in heaven.
Like, okay, time out. You're going to get into the truck now because he has a fucking gun sitting on the front seat?
Right.
Makes so much sense, right?
Right. Ladies, if you see a gun in the front seat, obviously that's when we get in. Okay?
Yeah.
Step one,
after
get
the
in.
third time.
Okay, step two, make sure you change locations.
Yeah, that's so weird.
All right. Hello. So she said she got in, held the gun on him. They talked all night, fell in love, and had sex that night. Okay? Okay.
At gunpoint.
At gunpoint.
Why not?
I mean, that is probably kind of hot, but
I think it's this stuff. What is that thing called? Ray? I think the Ray is talking.
The Ray is talking all the time now. This is at Target if people want to look into that. So then we find out that Don, you know, cheated on his wife. He was still married with kids, and I hate that. The whole cheating thing is like, like nails on a chalkboard to me. It's
For
very
a very
difficult.
long time, right? Like a very long time he did this. Like
Yes.
3 or 4 years, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And so Don told his wife Gladys, like, you know, I'm hooking up with this chick. And she told Don, like, she would love him until the day she died, but it was over. And my heart was just like, oh my gosh. It made me so sad. And Don called Carol like his angel. Like that was his nickname, his angel. And Gladys said, well, she's an angel sent straight from hell, and someday you will figure that out. And I think that's just so badass that she said that.
I love that quote.
I think
That
he
quote
figured
was
it
so
out.
good. Yeah.
Okay, so then we meet Anne McQueen, Dawn's executive assistant.
And she's pissed. You can tell. She has not got over this shit. She's like,
she's not someone. She seems like a smart, educated woman.
Mm-hmm.
She does. She seems like someone I wouldn't want to fuck with.
Yeah.
And she's being really honest. She said that in the beginning, she did like Carol. She did.
Yeah.
She said she liked her. She hoped that Dawn and her like were gonna make it. Right. She was really hoping for the best, which I think after everything shows that she can be honest, even though she might not feel that way now. So I think that says a lot about her.
Yeah.
She said, Don wasn't an easy man to be with, that he was a millionaire, but he did not want Carol to spend any of his money. Right. And then after this very serious conversation with Anne about Dawn and Carol and all this starting, we go to Joe, and we see Joe saying he's got Carol's diary.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, what the fuck?
That's nuts.
How
did he get her diary?
How did he get that?
Fucking psycho.
What if it was like one of those diaries I'm sure we all had in junior high with like the little lock? You know what I mean?
Oh my God. Somebody had to spill the beans on that. How did he freaking buy that freaking diary?
I don't know, but he's sitting there with like overalls that are like half on, wearing a Joe Exotic hoodie, a hoodie that says his made up name in neon yellow. Yep. It's fantastic. He's got his grandpa glasses on to read the diary, right? He's holding the diary and he starts reading it. It's just over the top with Joe, right? So then we go to, back to Dawn, where people couldn't even tell that he was a millionaire, right? He wore jeans and a shirt, and we saw that in like all the movies. He did not look like a rich guy.
No.
Right. Like if I was
Joe.
if I was looking for a sugar daddy, I would be like, oh, Don for sure. Don's my guy, Okay. So his one of his friends is talking about how he never looked fancy, right? He never looked rich, but he carried a $500 bill in his pocket at all times.
That's so funny.
Like,
I didn't even know
think
that
that's kind of baller.
I know, me neither.
A $500 bill? What?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was possible, but okay.
That's because we're poor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's savings, right? Like, same thing. We don't know what that is. So he carries a $500 bill in his pocket, and his family's talking about how he had like a green thumb to make money.
That's
right?
funny.
I wish someone said that about me. Like, anything she does, she makes money at. But they're saying it about this guy. So Kenny Farr is Don's handyman, and he worked for him for a long, long time. And he said that Don would hide money, bury money all over the place, bury gold bars, all this stuff. And it made, I'm not going to say who, but there are people in my family who also do this. Do you guys know people who hide money?
No.
You don't?
No.
Oh.
You're like,
now it's awkward. No, this, there's certain people that do this, and I do know people
like
that
buried it in the backyard.
All sorts of things, all sorts of places.
Well, my cousin like hides it under his mattress, but that's like everybody does that.
Oh,
it's not the same.
That no, we're not talking about under the mattress type.
No.
But his handyman is saying that he thinks he's worth like 20 million, right? And then we have all these people making guesses what he's worth. So Anne, the assistant, she thinks he was worth like 7.5 million.
I think she's right, because she knew everything about him. She probably had access to his account.
Right. And then Joseph Fritz, the attorney, he said he thinks like 5 to 10 million.
You ain't
So.
gonna tell your attorney how much money you
No.
really have.
No.
I think it's
Anne.
Anne.
I think she knew how much he legally made or how much he was legally worth, but like the hidden money stuff, maybe not. Maybe she didn't know about that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, then Carol is talking, right? And she's talking about her own family and growing up, how they were very plain family. They were raised poor. She didn't know though that how poor they were, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she shares something that's very like sad. You know, it really is sad. She says that, you know, at 14 years old, she was raped at knife point by 3 men who lived across the street from her. And unfortunately, her family were, you know, a type of Christian that felt like if that happened, the woman must have done something right to provoke that. And that just made my heart just sink, because, you know, if that happened to her, of course, that's going to change who you are, right?
Yeah.
And how you look at the world, how you feel about the world and everything. And that's just so sad. So obviously her family wasn't like really there for her through that. And so she left at 15. She left her home at 15. She married her first husband, Michael, at 17 years old, and they did have a baby. And she said he was abusive. But going back to an earlier statement, she threw potatoes at him. So she's also abusive with potatoes. Okay. So she met Don when she was 20, but she didn't leave her husband until she was 24 to be with Don. So they must have had a long
courtship
affair. Yeah, courtship.
Sure.
I mean, she did say that she was the other woman for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, she ends up, you know, leaving her husband. She's with Don. Don loves animals. And then we meet Jamie, Carol's daughter, who you can tell, like, oh wow, that's her daughter. Beautiful eyes, beautiful. And she was just talking about Don a little bit, how he loved animals, but really he wanted to collect them. And the first time they bought was at an exotic animal auction. And that was in 1992. And it was like a bobcat that I guess was going to be put down maybe, but they bought
it was going to be sold to, I think, a taxidermist.
Okay.
So they saved it from a taxidermist, which is cool. I'm glad that was possible.
Yeah. But then she goes on and says, like, and then the next year it was like 56, and then the year after that 20 something, year after that 20 something, right? So they just all of a sudden started like taking in a lot, right? And then they had a place called Wildlife on Easy Street. And I just thought, what?
I love it. It reminds me of Annie. Easy Street. Easy Street.
Oh my gosh. So, I mean, they bought, sold, and bred big cats. Like when they first started, that is what they did. That's the thing that she rails against now, but that's how they started. And then we see this guy riding a motorcycle, and his hair is like sailing through the air, and his beard and hair are like Snow White.
I love it.
He's a total like motorcycle badass guy. His name is Dennis Hill.
I love it.
He sold Carol her first tiger in 1995. And Carol and Don had taken a private plane to go visit him, right, to get the tiger and everything. And then he pulls out this dirty ass VHS tape with like shit, all like dirty, disgusting. Why does he even still have this VHS tape? Why does he even have it? And it's Carol making like a how-to video of taking care of cats, and and everything. So I just thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, how to breed and sell cats.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, oh, who's calling a kettle black now, girlfriend?
Yeah, and then she's like, yeah, you have to take them away from their moms, like when they're this little.
So
Yeah,
horrible.
like so that you can socialize them and domesticate them. Like if that's not the
No.
shittiest thing to do to like exotic animals, I don't know what is. You know what I mean? Like breeding them, but
Mhm.
taking them away from their mom when they're like that little.
It's
Come
so
on, Carol.
sad. No.
Yeah.
So then this starts a divide, because
Mhm.
Carol, she wants to collect and like just love on the cats, right? She wants them to be like her family. But Don was a businessman, right? That's not what Don was going to do. He would go to Costa Rica, because in Costa Rica you can breed them and there's no like legalities, there's no issues there with what Don wanted to do. And remember, he has a green thumb for making money, so that's what he wanted to do. So Carol didn't want to do that. So people are saying like that was kind of like what caused this rift, right, in the marriage. Also causing a rift is that Don had a girlfriend in Costa Rica.
Yeah. Just a little one. Just a little rift.
That might have bothered her. I don't know. So it's so crazy. And then they go into, and it's kind of like endearing how they're talking about it, but they're saying that he liked the ladies. No, he just couldn't stop cheating. Like he's a cheater. He's a full-on cheater. So Gladys, his wife, his first wife, she was 14 and Don was 17 when they got married. Oh my God. Their parents had to sign the papers for them to get married.
Our children are older than that right now. Come on.
It's crazy to me. A 14-year-old. If my 14-year-old daughter said, "Oh, I'd like to get married to my boyfriend," I'd be like, "Oh, I guess somebody started smoking crack, because that's not gonna happen."
Hell no! Oh my God.
Yeah. No, crazy town. So Gladys is saying, life was good, right? Life was actually good with Don, until she would get a call that somebody saw Don out with so and so, right? So Don really liked the ladies. Really, really liked him. They said he was probably a sexaholic, if you had to put a name on it. So maybe he had an addiction to this. He just couldn't do it. And of course, that was going to bother Carol. Right. So then Joe is reading from the diary, right? Always go back to Joe reading the diary. He's in his amazing hoodie. Trying to look very serious with his overalls half off.
And his glasses.
He's like in the rando spot, like in his office, like not even like nice. He's like leaning back in the chair.
Right. Let me take you through this diary. And basically Carol's talking about how she wouldn't want her daughter to be in a marriage like hers, a very perverted marriage.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know what that means, but also in the diary, Carol is talking about how much, she loved Don. In her own personal diary, she is saying that. So
yeah.
But then she also said, "I wish there was some way out for me."
Yeah. So then they were talking about how Don, like with the way Don was, if he was going to get a divorce, she wasn't going to be getting anything, right? Not a thing. Okay. She can keep a car and she can lose the keys because she got nothing. All right. Yeah. So she knew that she would lose everything. And she was like addicted to this cat, the cats and the lifestyle and everything. And we see Anne, and she's talking about how Dawn started looking a little funny. I don't know what she means by that.
Me neither.
I don't know what that means. Like, to me, like in true crime, looked a little funny. Oh, is he being poisoned? But she didn't say anything like that. She said he started looking a little funny, and he brought her a piece of paper in an envelope, and he said, if anything happens to me, give it to the police. And that's always a indicator something might go wrong, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He had filed a restraining order against Carol.
Mm-hmm. That's some crazy shit.
You filed
It
a
is.
restraining order against your wife? Like, what the
Exactly.
fuck?
Exactly.
Right. He said Carol had threatened to kill him. You could see the statement that he had written out, that there had been guns in the house and she had him. And his daughter, Dawn's daughter, grown daughter, is saying, like, he was not about the law or being a part of the law. So for him to go and try to file this restraining order speaks volumes of how scared he was of Carol. And he was denied the protection. Okay, he was denied the order, which I don't understand, because Carol said, like, I'm going to kill you.
Right.
Yeah.
But then his attorney says, we don't take you serious then. We take you serious after something's happened.
Right.
Yeah, that's nuts. I really did think, like, with the restraining order, you could say, well, they made a threat against my life.
Exactly.
And receive one. Is it different in California? Is that why I think that?
I think so, because they're in Florida, right?
Yeah. Maybe after OJ.
Yeah. I really do think maybe it's different in California, but he was denied this protection. So that happened in June, right?
Right.
He disappeared in August.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't sit right. Okay.
Nope.
And they're showing, like, all the news stories back in the day, long time ago. The hard copy, the news stories are all covering it. Carol's talking in all of them. Like, just.
I think there's only one video, though, of all of them that they show where she's actually, like, showing emotion or crying.
Right.
The other one, she's just kind of like, ooh.
Yeah.
It's so awkward. Anytime I see her on these, it makes me feel like, ugh, gross. So Kenny, the guy that helped Dawn and worked for Dawn for so many years, he said the last thing Dawn said to him is, if I can pull this off, it'll be the slickest thing I've ever done in my life, right? But he didn't finish that thought, and he took a call and left, and that's the last time that Kenny saw him. He doesn't know what he means by that statement, right?
You know what I kind of think? So, like, I know a lot of people are speculating that maybe it meant, like, if I can pull off, like, faking my death, maybe.
Right.
But I think that he meant, like, if I can pull off divorcing her without having to give up half of my estate, that would be the slickest thing that I could do. I think that's what it was. Because if you, like, during the episode, they do, during the show, they do show a picture of her, what the hell am I thinking? Like, her diary. And it says on there that he had agreed to give her $500 a week. Did you guys see it?
No.
All right, I gotta try to find the picture. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
I took a photo of it for this exact purpose, and I just did it, like, right now as we were watching. It's basically like a portion of her diary that gets, like, put onto the screen. It says basically that, let me just try to get this, like, it's really blurry. That Don can't stand to live with me anymore, and that he will furnish me with a place to move out to and give me $500 a week to live on. And then it says, how generous. So he's already talking about how she's already talking about how he does not want to be with her. They're already talking about divorce. She's put it in her diary. And then she goes on to say, I'm still crying, so I guess I still care. I'd love so much to die and not hurt anymore. But I've got Jamie, and she'd have the hard copy symbols over this. She'd have to blank if I died. It's no use to blank with him. I'd only come back.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Something I've ever known. The only man I've ever loved. That's what it says. It's like a screen of her diary. So basically, like, they've had this conversation. It's not a secret.
Right. Okay,
Crazy.
So obviously things have come to a head, right? We're all feeling that. Everyone in a circle is kind of saying the same thing. And then it comes to Anne McQueen, the assistant, and she's talking about how Don was going to be shipping cars to Costa Rica. Maybe he would stop to see his girlfriend, right? We don't know. Probably make some time. And then she said that she was waiting on some information from Don, right, to fill out some orders, something like that. And she never got that call, right? She waited, didn't hear from him. She called him over and over again, didn't hear from him. And so then by Sunday, she was like, what is going on here, right? So she calls Carol, and she's like, can't get a hold of him for days and days, and he's supposed to be doing this thing. And Carol said, well, do you think I should call the police? And Anne said, you think?
I hate that part. I hate that part so much, because you know why? My ex-mother-in-law used to say that all the time. Ugh. I think you think?
We have mother-in-law feelings now over you think. So,
Yeah.
so Carol is the one that called in and did the missing report, but they didn't really think anything was going on for, remember, a week or two. So they found the van at the airport with the keys and the briefcase in it, right? And Kenny, the helper, to Don, he said that they didn't even look at the van, that they took it to Carol's and they left it there for days before searching it.
Yeah, what the fuck are these detectives? Like, oh, just take it home, girlfriend. That's all right. Just take it home.
Could you maybe watch this for us for some days? We'll come back.
Why don't you deep clean it and vacuum and like wipe all the fingerprints off? Why don't you put some bleach on there while you're at it?
Make sure it's super clean when we come back. Thanks.
Yeah.
So this is crazy town that they would do that. I don't even understand it. And the investigators went to Costa Rica, right, to see if maybe Don was there, I guess. And they were there 4 to 5 days. I don't know how long you should really investigate. 4 to 5 days doesn't seem like a lot to me. I don't know. But they said they couldn't find anything. He did own a lot of airplanes, so you're thinking, oh, maybe he flew, right?
Right.
No,
but his van was found at like a small little airport, which makes sense.
Right.
That's kind of like, oh, maybe he did fly off somewhere. Yeah.
So convenient though.
Right. But no, they said that you couldn't fly a plane to Costa Rica. It would take 4 fuel stops.
Right.
And there's no record of his takeoff, and he wasn't reporting his flights. And Carol was saying that he lost his license the day after he got it, and he never reported his flights, like, forever and ever. I could see maybe how a pilot can maybe get away with that maybe once, right?
Yeah.
You can't do that long period of time and nobody know that you're flying or get caught. So
yeah.
Well, she said he flew
very
under the
low.
radar. Yeah.
I also like to fly under the radar
all the time.
So she said that he had several plane crashes, which is terrifying, and that one of them he wasn't quite right after, right?
Yeah, he was a little funny.
He was a little funny after it. So she was saying he could remember things from a long time ago, but not 5 minutes ago. And then I was like, oh shit, that's me. Fuck.
I know.
What did I do today? I'm now quite concerned. So then, it's like my favorite part of all these episodes when you see a music video. I love it.
Oh my God.
I love
That's
it.
the best. Here, kitty.
He has some balls, man. Like that is like hardcore.
At all. Well, of course we see Joe Exotic, and he's obviously wearing a priest costume because why not? Why wouldn't he be a priest? And then we see a straight up Carol Baskins look-alike in a convertible. And she looks just like her.
They so much like her. It's so bananas.
Yes. Whoever did casting for this music video,
it was
you get an A++++. Okay, you deserve a raise. It was perfect.
Oh my god!
I think that's the closest thing. That's got to be the closest thing to a memorial that poor Dawn's ever gonna get.
Yes. Oh my god. So they're singing this song, "Here, Kitty, Kitty," and this Carol Baskins lookalike is feeding like body parts to tigers through a fence, and the tiger's straight stealing her goddamn things from her. What is it?
With tongs. She's got tongs, guys.
Yeah, she steals the tongs from the lady. Oh my god, it's just amazing. It's just
funny
so
because there's like this fake like head on the platter.
Yes.
And I'm like, so wow. Wow, Joe. Wow.
I love everything about this music video.
Has anyone attempted to see the entire video of this? Is it out?
I have it. No. I love it though.
I want it as my ringtone.
Me too. Whenever you guys call me,
hey, kitty, kitty.
I just love it so much.
That's so great. Yeah.
So then we hear that, I guess cats' stomachs are so acidic, right? They can eat people and no bones will like come out, right? I don't know if that's true. I have no idea.
Well, Joe said like a turkey. Joe says a turkey. Yeah,
well, he said a whole turkey.
Those are little baby turkey bones. Yeah. Like it's not a fucking human, like femur and ribs and a sternum and pelvic bones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that doesn't sound right to me, but I don't know. So then I guess Dawn's daughters really wanted to get a DNA test done on the meat grinder, right? It didn't end up happening. But Carol's all laughing, like I couldn't even get his hand in there, not his whole body. And it's like, oh my god, for sure.
Bitch, we don't think you tried to stick your whole husband down in that fucking grinder.
No, right.
Pieces up.
Right.
She tried though. She said
she tried for sure. Down there. She's all, well, shit, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah. So try something new.
So then they're talking about a septic tank under the building.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like this. They showed a picture of Dawn. It was a picture of Dawn, but the lips are moving and it's Joe. And Joe is saying, terrible. Carol, get me out of this septic tank. Pretending to be Dawn. I was like, oh, that is so messed up, dude. So then we're talking to Anne, and she reveals that she was a suspect. Her and Carol were the suspects in this case. Right. I'm assuming because
she was. Yeah, she was like the executor, right? The executor of his estate. So
right,
yeah, she was power of attorney for both her and Carol, both. Right, or him and Carol, both. Yeah.
Yes. So she was a suspect, right? And then we find out Carol's brother, was a sheriff in the office, but they're thinking, oh, well, we don't think that there's collusion there. We don't think that, he would do anything like shady, like to prevent justice from happening. But then Carol's talking, she's saying some weird shit, like always. She's like, well, me and my brother aren't really close. Like there's like a 6-year difference, not much of a relationship. I'm sorry. I have huge spans of time between like all my siblings, and 6 years is like nothing. 6 years is nothing. It's nothing.
You're adult.
And it's weird that somebody would be like, nah, we're not close because of this. What? Right. Okay. All right. But then we find out, right, that at 3 a.m, she has to go get some milk for her kitty cats. And there's like some kind of car situation, but then she bumps into her brother that she's not close with, you guys. There's a 6-year difference.
Yep,
there's a 6-year difference.
Rando at the Albertsons.
Right. But then she got a ride home, right? And then it turns out, like, from that time, just a few hours later, was probably the last time that she saw Dawn, that she's saying that she saw Dawn. So it sounds very shady.
Yeah.
Right? So she might be saying, I'm not close with my brother, but really, I think your brother helped you. Okay, hon?
Yeah.
I think the brother helps you.
Seriously, who goes to get milk at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning? Nobody.
Nobody does. Nobody.
Yeah. You're doing something else, Carol, and we all know
right.
it.
So then we find out that her father hated Dawn. Hated Dawn. The father, Carol, they show up at, it's Anne's office, right? Anne worked there. Right. They show up at Anne's office and they cut the locks. They cut the power on the building, right? And the alarm goes off. Anne shows up, right? She knows what they're trying to do. We find out that in the office, there's the 2 wills. And, right, they're the power attorney, the executor, you know, is Anne. Right? But there's nothing that they can do. Carol's the wife. Husband is missing. She can go in and she gets to take everything, and Anne can't stop anything. How frustrating that must have been for Anne.
Right.
Right. And then all of a sudden, magically, these papers come up and the wording is, you know, upon something like happening to me or my disappearance.
Right.
Right. Carol is the power and the executor and all this stuff magically. And I love how the attorney's like reading it, and he's like, in 30 years I've never seen any of these say, and maybe my disappearance, he's like, nobody thinks they're gonna disappear.
Right.
Who thinks to add that?
I think that's the smoking gun right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like people have been put away for far less circumstantial evidence than what they have here. And if they had like any kind of DNA evidence, it would totally pin her.
Absolutely. So Carol and her father, who hated Dawn, they immediately got rid of all the people there, you know, that were like Dawn's helpers, right? The people that worked for Dawn. There was a note on the fridge, I guess, that said, never speak that man's name again in this house. That's weird. Yeah, that's weird, right? Because if things are good and you have nothing to do with his disappearance, you would be sad. We would be sad. And we wouldn't be putting notes up on fridges saying that. Right. And so she's saying, Carol says that there was no funeral and no memorial. And to me, that speaks volumes. To me.
Yeah. Weird. That's so
At
weird.
no time that happened. She said that she got his death certificate in the mail. She opened it. She looked out the window and she basically blacked out, came to, and it was pitch black outside. And she said, I guess that was my memorial.
Yeah. What a bitch.
Like, what are you actually talking about right now?
You know what was crazy too is the fact that she had him declared dead like exactly 5 years in one day. Like immediately, as soon as she was able to.
As soon as she could. Right. Yep. 5 years, one day. And Dawn's daughters got 10% of his estate. 10%. You
know what really bothered me too? Is that she was like sitting there acting like an angel about it when she said that he tried to you know, to nullify their trust, and that Carol wouldn't let him because she felt like he would regret that later. And so she's an angel. She's doing them a favor. You know, so the 10% they got, they're lucky because they wouldn't have gotten shit if it was up to Dawn, right?
Right.
Yeah,
so he's the bad guy, and he's not around to defend himself, which is super shady.
Yeah.
So then we see this weird ass video, and it's called The Science of Getting Rich, written by Wallace Wattles. What kind of name is that? Recited by Carol Baskins. And she is like, she's very young. She is very young. And she's got, of course, her flower crown, right? And she's talking. She's like, you know, some people on purpose or accidentally get rich. And you're like, what is
it's like
happening?
She
Oh
says
my
like
God.
accidentally, and there's like this eye roll, like
like you all know what I'm talking
unbelievable.
about. Right. I accidentally became rich. Wink, wink,
Right.
nod, nod. This stupid bitch is making a video on how you too can accidentally become rich, right? It's so crazy. It's so crazy. And then it shows like Carol riding around on her bike, of course, because nothing's better than this. And we have Howard sitting next to Carol. He's talking. He obviously is scared for his life in this moment.
Oh my God.
And he's trying to like think of things to say about Carol. And he's like, I think Carol is reasonably rational.
Right.
What?
What?
That's what you say? She's reasonably rational. And she seems pleased with him. Like, good boy, you did it. You said something nice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we see, oh my God, we see pictures of Howard dressed as a caveman.
That's insane.
And he looks like he's pretending like he's about to like club her, and she's wearing a wedding dress. Like, oh, we're so funny. He.
And it's like so random because she's like in her halo, her flower halo, and she looks like a middle-aged bride on the beach. No big deal. And then you see Howard in like this schmuck with fur and like a club, and he's like, "Hey, bitch." Hey. That's like the manliest that he was ever in that whole entire relationship.
That was the last time that ever happened. Dude.
Right. She cut his balls that night, man.
Oh yeah. Sure did. Yep.
So they met in 2002. They married in 2004. We're seeing pictures, of course, of him on his hands and knees with a leash on. Hello. These are the wedding photos. We're going to keep it classy. Oh my gosh. It's just obviously got really weird up with them, right? Howard and Carol are weirdos. And then we see Anne, and she's talking, and she said that, you know, she would have really liked to, you know, have a funeral, right? She would have liked to have that for closure. And somebody said, well, what about justice?
Right.
And she said, that would be nice, but I'm not a greedy person. So she doesn't obviously think that's going to happen. There's no physical evidence in this case, so it's gone nowhere. And then we see the older daughters, right, and the first wife of Don, and they're saying that they wanted to come out when this all happened to like Hard Copy and all these popular things at the time to talk about the case, right? Keep it going. And Carol said, you know, if you say anything, you get nothing. You get no estate. You get no property. You need to stop talking about it.
Yeah.
So I think to me that speaks volumes. And then, of course, at the end, Joe is saying that he's going to take her on. Everyone is scared of her. And the last thing he says is, her day is coming. Yep. Oh, this was a very interesting episode. It wasn't like, oh, that's so funny or weird. It was like, oh my gosh, this is a very serious case.
Right. Like you said, it's like a forensics files. It's just like, you know, like scientific, this, that, you know, X, Y, A, B, C, just like that.
I really hope that somebody like comes up, you know, when they do these podcasts too, like we've heard so many of them where like they kind of reopen up the case, put more interest into it. I hope this really does work its magic that way. Well,
we heard not that long ago, they have decided to relook at the case because this came out on Netflix and people were making a big deal about it, and they're saying that they're looking at it again. And then so Dre, tell us about what you're sharing with us about some video that Howard made.
So if you go to bigcatrescue.org, which is their website, because I was really curious, like, what kind of videos is she putting out? Like, what was the thing that, like, she got like X amount of number of dollars from YouTube or something, or Facebook for her videos, right? It was like some crazy amount, like thousands of dollars. So I said, what is she posting? And I found some pretty cool stuff. Like they have live videos of the cats there. like you can watch them sleeping and stuff basically. But one of the biggest things they have out front is like a YouTube video of Howard only talking and saying like how upset they were with Netflix and how like they misportrayed her entirely and she's such a good person, and he just kept going on and on about how good of a person she was and that there's no way that she killed, you know, Don. And I'll send you guys the link so you can watch it. It's a good video. Poor Howard is just, you know, doing his duty as that dutiful husband that Carol probably forced him to do this video.
Right. He gets home and he's like, was that good? Did I do that?
Yeah. How did I do, babe? Because by him doing it alone, I feel like, first of all, he would never do that, and she would never allow that.
No.
Not Carol.
No way.
He put his ass up to it, and he said, yes, master, whatever you want.
That's right. I think he said to my number one when they were getting married was my number one goal was to make her happy.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
he's going to lie, cheat, steal, all of it. Yes.
Yeah. You know, one of my favorite lines too, we go back when they were talking to the attorney, and he makes the most awesomest quote, and I just wrote it down, and I think I posted it on Facebook when I watched the episode. He's like, there is a God, her name is Karma, and she has a sick sense of humor. I love that. I love that so much because I've been caught in karma on the positive side. I've just watched it go down, and I totally believe, and I'm like, damn, see, you just got what you got, babe. Yep.
Yeah. You know what's funny is I wrote that down too, but he also said, one day someone's going to stub their toe. And I was like,
and then Netflix comes out, so we'll see. We see if karma came through on this one.
And she's like the new episode just came out, so we're on episode 3. It goes to what, 7, and then they released 8 just recently. And she refused. She refused to not have any part of it. So you know, she's like shaking in her boots. She's shaking in her cat print.
Her cat print. She's lifting her leg and peeing all over the place. She's so scared.
Oh yeah.
Damn. Could you imagine?
I'm glad that we did this episode. It was good. We gotta break up our week and do fun things, right?
Yeah.
Right.
We can't all just do pool parties.
Yep.
I would have loved to go to a pool party today. It was so fucking hot.
I know. That sounds amazing. That sounds great.
I wish I knew someone that was having one.
I also wish I knew someone. So
yeah,
me too.
But you know, when we're done being quarantined, we'll get together and do fun things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's give a shout out if you guys haven't already. We have an episode that's been coming out on Thursdays, and we are visiting conspiracy theories, and we've invited one of our really good friends. His name is Rock. And if you haven't already, check those episodes out. We've done 2. We're going to do a 3rd one this week. And we're just covering some really fun things that you would never think of that was like possible. But, you know, we get into it, and we'd love to hear what you guys think also.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun.
We have the website, right?
Right. It's Handcuffs and Sage podcast.com.
And then you can email us at handcuffsandsage@gmail.com. Right.
We're on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. And we love it when we hear from you guys. We get excited. Especially with the conspiracy theories, because I know it gets people heated. It gets people to go, okay. So, but you know, if you are loving Tiger King and you want to talk with us about it, we will be, you know, right there, and we'll like be on it. And then we still haven't given up on our true crime and paranormal. Once this quarantine is over, we will be right back into the grind for that. Yeah, because that's our passion.
Yep.
We're just having fun with Tiger King. It's just too much fun to do it.
Exactly.
I love it.
Yeah, and we get to watch it like 4 or 5 times every episode, which is making it awesome. So
I love it. You pick up on things that you didn't see before, and you're like, oh, it's even better.
Oh, you really do. Yeah.
It's so good.
When you're watching it the first time around, you're just like with your jaw on the ground, and you're like, what? And then when you go in with like an open mind, you're like, okay, I really need to be there and write notes, and you're just like,
yeah.
Pause. Yeah.
1 million times. Yep.
Seriously, rewind.
Yes.
Did I just fucking hear that? What? Yeah.
I'm like, did she really say she tried to put his hand in there and it didn't fit? I'm like, holy shit.
I love it. I love everything about it. I'm glad that we're doing it. So everyone make sure to get your In the Mood pills. Let us know if they help. Okay. Message us. Email us. Leave reviews on iTunes. It really helps us out. And check out our Patreon. Anything else? That's it.
That's good. Yeah. Team, I was working on stuff for our Patreon account. I'm going to have some really cool stuff out there for you guys. So, just, check out our social media accounts, and I'll let you know when those things are available.
Yay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so now we can see each other. So I think we can be like right on with our closing.
Hopefully.
Here. Yeah.
Okay, look at me. Here we go.
All right.
Remember,
we do what we want.
It's still bad.
I think we're still on a delay no matter what. Yeah.
We do what we want, even when we close.
That's right. I hope everyone has a good week.
So I just, just a little side note, I want to put out this, this is really fun doing this on Zoom because I haven't seen my girls in forever, and now I can see them, and that's all cool. But if we want to give you guys a shout out and you do some, maybe we'll bring you on our Zoom.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah, that'll be fun.
Humorific.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a Zoom date. We're making Zoom dates now.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
All right, now.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye, babes.
See ya.
Love
Bye.
you.
Boo, boo, boo. Handcuffs and Sage is hosted by Red, Timo, and Dre in a shitty guest room in Los Angeles.
Theme music is Leave Now by We Are Wasted. Cover art done by Megan Winchester.
Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Show us some love on iTunes. Be a badass and do what you want. Until next time.